And I'm trying to feel comfortable, accepting. I am talking to a camera, and through this camera, potentially other individuals who are interested in consciousness, in awareness, in waking up from the apparent mind-created sense of self. And that I am joining a large, expanding community of individuals who seem to have had glimpses of reality beyond the filters of the mind. And the way the filters of the mind works is through this, language, words. To a large extent, we create a perceptual reality that has no bearing to actual reality. It's simply our interpretation. We have this body of ours, which is the instrument, the vessel of awakening, if awakening is going to happen. We are, and I'm jumping right in, figuring out if you have found this particular video, you are interested in and have perhaps even had experiences of direct perceiving, where there has been a quiet mind and that inner voice inside, the inner commentary has quieted, however it came, spontaneously or through practice, meditation practice, and you will simply hear. Where everything exists in the present moment. Where no problems exist except that the mind says you have a problem. I'm hungry. I'm starving. I'm not loved enough. I'm not intelligent enough. I'm not successful enough. Whatever insufficiencies the mind comes up with. And it doesn't come up with it willy-nilly. We are products, in a sense, of our culture, of the body we live in, and the times we live in, and the country we live in the society we live in, and the family we were born into. All create labels and roles for us to play, identities, if you will, and we end up accepting these identities as who we are. I'm a male. You're a female. I'm a Buddhist. I'm a Christian. I'm a Hindu. I'm a Palestinian. I'm a Frenchman. I am whatever identity I've been told I have and whatever identity I've assumed, taken on. But that's not who we really are. We are that which is aware of this body, but we are not the body. We are that which is aware of emotions and feelings and sensations, but we are not those emotions, feelings, and sensations. We are that witnessing. We are formless awareness, temporarily manifesting as form. And this form has a temporary shelf life. 23 hours, 23 years, 40 years, 60 years. And then the form returns to nothingness. We spend an immediate early lifetime learning to be somebody, and at the latter part of our life we end up learning to be nobody, because there is nobody here. Beyond the story, beyond the facade, there is simply this formless spaciousness, stillness. And this body of ours is simply the tip, the tiny tip of the iceberg. It's as if we were a puppet. And the universe, formlessness, talks through us, awakens to itself. Awareness awakens to itself through this form. It's a paradox. That formless awareness awakens to its formless nature through form. But that's how it is. Reality, absolute reality, is totally inclusive, includes everything. Nothing is left out of absolute reality. Otherwise, it's not absolute reality. And contained within that absolute reality is you and me. And if you call that absolute reality God, the divine, then we are divine. We cannot be other than what we are. My ordinary, everyday consciousness here that gets me up out of bed in the morning and brushes my teeth is not different from cosmic consciousness or Christ consciousness or Buddha nature. My individual water droplet consciousness is not separate and apart from oceanic consciousness. Can't be. And it's how we fool ourselves that I'm interested in, so that we can perhaps put that tomfoolery aside for a moment and just be what we are. But because we are in a physical form, there is being and doing. It's not simply a matter of waking up one day and saying, oh, I am who I am as I am. There's no more for me to do. I don't have to eat. I don't have to sleep. No, we are manifested as human being. So this human life, this crazy human life, is the road, is the journey. There's nothing to transcend here. This emphasis in many spiritual practices of transcending the body, transcending the illusion of the body. But there's also, besides transcendent awareness, embodied awareness. Embodied awareness. And while we are in the body, why not enjoy and explore embodied awareness? When this body fades away, however it fades away, you'll have more than any opportunity to explore transcendent awareness to your heart's content. But for now, this is an introductory. Tony talking to you, and maybe you'll talk to me. And in that talking, what may sound and look like initially as a monologue is in fact a dialogue. And it's always self talking to self, 24 hours, all over the planet. Though it looks like I'm talking to Joan, or talking to Alex, or talking to Greg, or talking to David, or talking to Luann or somebody. Actually, it's self talking to self all the time. And self doesn't recognize self. That happens. That's why there is such a thing as self-knowledge, self-knowing. And to know self is to go beyond ego identity, beyond the ego self. It's self talking to self, always. It's self awakening to self.